From Homedale to Salmon River, District 3 has several teams that don't always get their due. Stepping outside the shadows of the SIC, this is the Treasure Valley Prepcast with Logan Green.
That's right. Welcome in. Another edition of the Treasure Valley Prepcast on IdahoSports.com, breaking down the 3A, 2A, 1A sports scene each and every week. I'm Brandon Baney, as always, joined by Logan Green. LG, what's going on?
Hey, man. Hey, Brandon. It's a good time to be a sports fan right now, right? If you've got state everything next week. You have, heck, if you like the NBA, you've got the NBA playoffs. If you like the NHL, you've got that. And that's what I've been watching lately. I've been really deep into the NHL playoffs. But, and then, it's just a good, the Idaho Sports Little Giants have a semifinal game on Friday. So, everything's coming together here.
And you might be burying the lead. Tell us a little bit about the team. So every week we check in on the Little Giants, the IdahoSports.com Little Giants. They're part of a Nampa, a league that's based in Nampa. It's youth flag football. Logan is the coach of a very successful team, but now here you are in the semifinals, and who's standing on that other sideline?
So this is what I've heard. So if you're listening, Shay, I know sometimes you tune in. Let me know if I'm wrong, but apparently Shay Mcclellan is somehow involved with this team we're playing next week. So I'm expecting to get a call if we win to be an assistant at Marcine. And I'll be carried off the field as a champion if we can. But man, I saw them. It's the Cowboys, right? I mean, this is the Little Giants movie, right? It's the Cowboys versus the Giants right now, and they haven't lost a game all year. And I saw them practicing, and they were moving kids in motion and stuff. And these are first and second graders, and I'm like, my kids, I will draw a play and then say, do this, and they get to the line and like, who gets the ball? Do I get the ball? Are we throwing or are we passing? I'm like, guys, I don't know how on earth they're running motion offense. So hopefully we can do okay. I feel pretty good about it. Our guys are they're small and fast, and if they can just get the edge, they'll be okay. So we'll see. It should be fun.
That zone defense of yours is going to be put to the test. It sounds like.
Apparently they throw the ball deep. So I told my kids, I said, you know what, just back up. We'll see. It should be fun. I'm excited. If they can pull it out, that's awesome. If not, I think my kids realize there's no pressure on them. They're like, that team's really good. So yeah. Hopefully we'll see. Should be fun.
Yeah. And as we get into the end of the spring sports season is coming up, we're getting questions, hey, what's going to happen to the Prepcast? Well, we're not going anywhere. We're going to be here kind of throughout the summer as well. And we'll do some off-season interviews. We'll bring some guests on and do some interviews. And I don't know, Shane McClellan's got to be on the list, right? Of guests we want to bring on for the off-season.
If he really is coaching, I'll be sure to ask him on Friday after he whoops my butt. But we'll see. I need to message again. That was just what one parent told me. So I don't know if that's true or not. But there are a lot of people that come up from Marcine and Melba and stuff like that and play in the league. Every time I get in the car, I see Mustang stickers on the bumpers of different windows in the parking lot. So it's a mesh. There's tons of people from the outside communities coming into play. So it's been really fun.
That's awesome. Well, of course, Shay Mcclellan is taking over the Marcine football program. He's their new head coach. And I think Marcine fans are hoping that Coach McClellan can engineer a similar turnaround to what we've seen this year with the Marcine baseball team. Like how I transitioned back, Logan?
Yeah. And it didn't end the way Marcine wanted, right? It didn't. They did get knocked out of the district tournament, and we'll hit on that in a minute. But you know what? Just to be in the mix, it makes a huge difference, right? When you go from I played on a team like that in high school that was just never in contention, and I just wanted to be in contention. And we were just struggling. We just wanted to win games. We didn't care about winning a championship when we had been so bad for so long. And when you're just have those down years, you just want you just want to get one where you're in the mix. And, it had to be an enjoyable run for them. They knocked off Melba, who's going to state. They played tight games with everybody else. They beat some really good teams, and they got nothing to, hang their head on this year. But like you said, Brandon, maybe we can see that. Is this the emergence of Marcine, right? And I really think when you break it down in athletics, like, it's been a long time since a boys program at Marcine, basketball, football, baseball, has been successful, right? So those kids are not accustomed to it. And you look on the other side, and those kids from Melba, it doesn't matter what sport they play, they win. Cole Valley Christian, they're so used to it. Nampa, like these teams that, and a lot of those names are the same, right? They're the same names that you hear in football, you hear in basketball, you hear in baseball. And those kids are just used to winning. And as Marcine gets that into their system, maybe this is the jump start, right? These guys on the baseball team, hey, you know what? That was kind of fun to win a lot of games. Let's do that again. Let's do it in another sport. So hopefully, like you said, that does propel them forward.
All right, so let's take a look at what's been going on in the district baseball and softball scene. Now, if you're watching the video version of this Prepcast on the IdahoSports.com YouTube channel or Facebook page, I'm going to share my screen and put the brackets up on the screen so you can follow along at home. Maybe make the video full screen size so it's a little clearer to see. If you are listening to this podcast at IdahoSports.com or wherever you download your podcasts, that's all right too. All of the district brackets are right on the homepage, IdahoSports.com, softball and baseball, and you can follow along that way as well. So let's start with the 2A WIC in baseball. This is the 2A District 3 baseball tournament. Nampa Christian was the 1 seed. No surprise there. Melba was the 2 seed. So those two got first round byes. In the opening round on Friday, New Plymouth, the 4 seed, beat Cole Valley Christian, the 5 seed, 13-9. And then you had number 3 Marcine over number 6 Vision Charter, 13-0. That's all chalk. Then you look to the semifinals, and it was number 1 Nampa Christian shutting out number 4 New Plymouth 18-0, and number 2 Melba shutting out number 3 Marcine 8-0. Again, all chalk. But then when we got to the loser out games on Tuesday night, we kind of had our first wrinkle. New Plymouth, the 4 seed, shut out Vision Charter, the 6 seed, 16-0. But then look at this. This was a wild game, Logan. This was an 8-inning affair. Cole Valley Christian, the 5 seed, knocks out Marcine, the 3 seed. So now you have the district championship tomorrow night. We're recording this Wednesday night, May 11th. Tomorrow night on the 12th, you'll have Nampa Christian against Melba in the championship game. And earlier on in the day, it says Thursday, May 13th. That should be May 12th, but it's Thursday. You will have a loser out contest essentially between Cole Valley Christian and New Plymouth. The winner of that will advance to a state play-in game where they will play either Timberlake or Kellogg. Timberlake just got knocked off tonight in their district championship game by Bonners Ferry, the number 2 seed.
Well, this is 2A, Brandon. So this one I think is locked up, right? This is St. Mary's. It's locked in, right?
I keep getting my 2A and 3, dude. It's been a week. You are correct. So yes, St. Mary's, the 2 seed from up north. So that would be an interesting play-in game.
I like the District 4, the District 3 team in that. St. Mary's. I mean, we were talking about it. They had a crazy weekend up there between those teams, and the way theirs is set up, they all were beating each other and mixed in between. And you know what? New Plymouth is playing well right now. After that big win, they've had a couple of wins in this tournament. I mean, so has Cole Valley Christian. They did just play, like you see there, on Friday. It's a close game, a lot of runs put up by both teams. Cole Valley Christian, you look at the past couple of games for them, they gave up 13 runs to New Plymouth on Friday. They gave up 11 runs to Marcine on Tuesday in a win. But you think, man, the right now they're giving up a lot of runs, and in New Plymouth can put them up. They put up 13. They put up 16. So I like the way that people are hitting right now against Cole Valley, and that leans in the favor of New Plymouth.
And in that Marcine game, Cole Valley jumped out to a big lead. I mean, we were in like the 6th inning, and Cole Valley led. I think it was 11-5 They led that game by 6 runs, and Marcine had a huge comeback to send the game to extra innings. So Coal Valley's bullpen kind of had a meltdown in that loser out win over Marcine. So I agree. I kind of lean New Plymouth here. Paul Kingsbury, our boss, Logan, he's an alumnus of New Plymouth High School, and he kept telling us all week, your lack of faith in the Pilgrims is disturbing. And now New Plymouth's in an excellent position to possibly get to state, I think.
Yeah, no, I really think that I like the winner here. I just think the teams that they have had to play all year are a little bit better than who's had to play up north. I just think that will bode them well. They'll have a day to rest in between before that game, and I believe it'll be in Orofino, right? Yeah, St. Mary's qualifies, so that game will be at noon in Orofino. Well, 1:00 here. Noon o'clock up in Orofino for that matchup.
Yeah, and this is the old chicken and the egg quandary here. Is it better to be playing your third game basically in 6 days, like a New Plymouth or a Coal Valley, or is it better? St. Mary's was done on Tuesday, so they'll have had 4 days of rest to really rest up they'll have all of their pitchers fresh and ready to go. The pitch count rule came into conversation recently over in East Idaho. I don't know which way's better.
Yeah, I think I kind of lean towards the no rest, Brandon. I just think that you've been playing this way all season, right? You don't have that long of a break in the season, right? You're playing at least 2 games a week. I think most on average, I would say you're playing at least 2 games a week. And now there's a big break, and it's been kind of business as usual for a Coal Valley and New Plymouth when they get up there. They're just going to keep going and going and going. And I think maybe that leans in their favor. We'll see what happens. I'm wrong all the time. So it'll be interesting to see. We'll see how it shakes out. I have a lot of teams here from District 3 make it into the state tournament this year, though, if that team can win.
Yeah, in terms of the single game format, the teams in District 3 are more used to that because they're all close, where St. Mary's is almost everything's a doubleheader because either they had to travel a long distance or somebody had to travel there, and you might as well make it worth the trip and play 2 games. So that will also be an interesting wrinkle. Real quick on the other side of this bracket, really no surprises. Nampa Christian and Melba meeting up in the district championship. Can Melba finally knock out the Trojans? I don't see it. I think Nampa Christian goes into the 2A state tournament as the overwhelming state title favorite.
Yeah. And I think Nampa Christian is on a roll. It's going to be tough to beat them. And I don't know, Brandon, it's kind of jumping back just a hair. You look at that New Plymouth Nampa Christian score, right? 18-0. I need to look at the stats on that one, but my guess, I don't want to say it, but did New Plymouth just accept their fate in knowing, what? We're going to come through the other side.
Right.
Did they put their best guy out there and burn the arm? I wouldn't think so. I would think, you use them against New Plymouth and then you say, against Nampa or against Coal Valley. And then against, Nampa Christian and then against Vision, you can you don't need them out there. And so almost to them, I'm wondering if they're locked and ready to go on that end. If they got some different guys in there playing, pitching in that game. And you never play to lose, but you got to be a little strategic in it, right? You're not going to go out and throw all your best guys. Again, that was Saturday, so it was a long time ago. But Nampa Christian is just so good that they just – but New Plymouth isn't bad. I just don't think that they're an 18-0 loss on a normal day is New Plymouth.
No, and New Plymouth, probably has fresher arms. That 16-0 game probably got done early, whereas Coal Valley went extra innings and used a lot of pitchers. So
so I know that's jumping back, but that's just that leads me to want to pick New Plymouth in this game.
Yep, that's a good point. I guess I would lean with the Grims as well, the Pilgrims of New Plymouth, and then I think the play-in game also goes the way of District 3. Let's take a look at since I've got 3A baseball on the mind, Logan. Let's go 3A District 3, the SRV, the Snake River Conference. Weiser, the 1 seed, they got a first-round bye. Fruitland was the 2 seed. They got a first-round bye. You had 4 seed Payette beat 5 seed McCall-Donnelly 9-5 on Saturday in the opening round. You had number 3 Homedale beat number 6 Parma 9-5 on Saturday. That set up 2 semifinals Monday night that went chalk, right? Weiser beats Payette 12-2. Fruitland beats Homedale in a close game, 6-4. That was kind of a back and forth game. And so Fruitland wins 6-4. And then kind of like the 2A side, we get to that loser outside. And number 3 Homedale shuts out number 5 McCall-Donnelly last night, 10-0. But Parma, the Parma Panthers, how about it, Logan? They knock out their rivals from Payette 4-1, and Parma, the 6 seed, plays Homedale, the 3 seed. This game happened tonight. This is like live and breaking.
Fresh.
This game just ended like right before we hopped on, Logan, and Homedale defeated Parma 10-0. So Homedale advances to a state play-in game. And like I was saying, they will play either Timberlake or Kellogg from up north. Those 2 teams will meet tomorrow night to settle second place, as Timberlake, the number 1 seed up north, was upset tonight by Bonners Ferry, the 2 seed in their championship 5-4. So Badgers going to state. Congrats. And now you're probably going to get a really angry Timberlake team in that state playing game. But man, Homedale's got such a good tradition. I don't know.
That's why I'm like, I still don't know if you don't take Homedale here. I mean, you look at that tight game against Fruitland, 6-4 on Monday. They've hung around with these teams, and man, it's just tough when you get in this situation because you haven't seen those cross-state matchups, right? Like, how do those teams from the north match up with these guys down here? We're going to find out on Saturday, right? We're going to find out where that lies. But at least from, I guess from my at least skewed point of view, man, it really looks like Homedale is on a roll. They're probably no bigger Parma Panthers fans right now anywhere outside of Parma than right there in Homedale. After that win for Parma over Payette, Payette, a tricky team that had given them some trouble during the year. So they get Parma and they move into the state play-in game. And I don't know. I haven't seen Timberlake play this year, but man, it'd be tough to bet against Homedale right now, at least in a runaway.
Yeah. And Logan, I will tell you that in the time since we started recording this Prepcast, that championship matchup on the other side of the bracket has also gone final. And it is Weiser winning the district, even though it doesn't say it on the bracket. Yeah, this is behind the scenes at IdahoSports.com. This is so fresh. We haven't even put it on the bracket yet. Weiser shuts out Fruitland 10-0.
Oh my goodness.
In that championship game. So Weiser and Fruitland are both going to state. And big picture, Weiser, people doubted them all year. They won state last year in kind of an unheralded fashion, and they came in this year, and all the talk was about Fruitland and Homedale, I feel like. And here's Weiser winning the regular season title, winning the district title, and they're going to try to go back-to-back in the 3A state ranks as well.
Yeah, and it's going to be a great – I'm looking – Brandon, we're lucky. We get to do this tournament, me and Brandon. Right. So if you're out there listening, we will be your broadcasters for the 3A state baseball tournament. It should be fun. You just got to think those two are going to meet up again. But there's just going to be so many good teams. I know Fruitland Falls today, but they're a good team. They're going to be there. Bonners Ferry. So last year, I did some of the 3A tournament with Gary Jones, and Bonners Ferry was down like 8-1 or 8-0 on Marsh Valley. And then in the bottom of the 7th, they tied it, or they got it within. It was a crazy game, and that's just the story of the 3A baseball tournament. Is just crazy comebacks, big upsets. And last year you saw Weiser just kind of sneak their way in and win that championship. And like you said, Brandon, people just aren't really talking about them that much. And you know what? I think even still people probably are, think, oh, well, Marsh Valley, right? That seems to be the talk of 3A baseball, right? Is Marsh Valley. And then you've got Sugar Salem, who will be there. And they're just a problem in every sport. And so, and all these teams are playing, right? Weiser, Sugar Salem, Homedale, Marsh Valley. These teams are all playing each other in the state basketball tournaments every year. in the state baseball tournament. It's really fun. There's just this crew of 3A teams that seem to always be in the mix and always duking it out with each other. And it's going to be no different next week.
Speaking of 3A basketball, Kimberly won the 3A boys basketball title, and they will also be at state. And from the chatter I've heard, it's kind of like Marsh Valley, Kimberly. They played twice in the regular season. Marsh Valley beat Kimberly both times 3-2. So those are kind of. But Weezer's in a good spot. I don't think, and they're kind of laying low, and I don't think.
No.
Anyone's
I think they're okay.
Yeah,
just laying low like that. And you know what, Brandon, what we mentioned it last week too. If anybody out there wants to be a sponsor during any of these state baseball tournament games, like the 3A tournament that we're going to be at for Fruitland, Weezer, or then potentially Homedale, just reach out to us. We'd love to get you guys on and support these teams. I mean, these kids deserve it. They deserve to have the community support in these state tournament games. So just reach out to us. Again, Logan at IdahoSports.com, and we'll get you on there for it.
Yeah, we can't do these broadcasts without those great sponsors. So that'll be next week. Once again, every pitch from every baseball state tournament in Idaho. All right, let's move to the 1A ranks, the 1A Western Idaho Conference. This started today, Logan, and we've got 3 of the 4 first-round games. Horseshoe Bend and Idaho City are still playing right now, so no word on how that game is going, but it's been all chalk so far. Number 1 North Star Charter beats, first of all, Garden Valley beat Rockland in the play-in game way over here. How about that? Rockland and Garden Valley both had to travel to Glens Ferry for this play-in game.
Not an easy drive for either one of them.
No, not convenient. Rockland and Garden Valley are kind of like independents, and then they kind of join this district for the postseason. So Garden Valley won that 8-4. They had then the privilege of playing North Star Charter, where 36-3 Huskies get the win there in the first game today. And then this was the game that we said probably would determine who gets that 4th bid to state, right? Rimrock Wilder on that 4-5 line, and Rimrock wins that pretty easily, 15-5. And then number 2 Glens Ferry beat number 7 Gem State and Greenleaf Friends. They're kind of a co-op this year, 16-3. So none of these games have been particularly close yet, Logan. And that's kind of how we saw the league this year, right? There's kind of a clear top 3, and Rimrock maybe a step behind at 4.
Yeah. I think there's the clear 3, and then there's those 2 below that are right there. So we'll see what happens this week, I think. Right. So the championship, if you get to the championship, you're in. If you lose, you just right. So if you make it to the semis, you're in. Is that right? There's no, if you're playing in the losers bracket, there's no.
So here's the 4 seeds get to go. So you have.
Okay. I see. Okay.
You have a chance.
So the consolation winner comes around and gets one more shot at it. I got you.
Yep. So it's actually kind of an interesting bracket where 4 teams get to go, and really, I think the 4 teams will be the 4.
Yeah, I think it'll be. I think it'll be the teams in the semis. I think that's what you're going to see: North Star, Rimrock, Glens Ferry, Horseshoe Bend. Now, just take a look at that, Brandon. Tomorrow, Thursday at 9 a.m. That's your pitch. That's a great school day. How about that? That not only that, you get to miss this Thursday, but then you get to miss next Thursday too, right? Because you're going to have state tournament games during the day as well. So it's 2 weeks of a lot of time off school. I mean, heck, if you're North Star, you played at 1 o'clock today, you play at 9 a.m. tomorrow, and then Friday you play at 5. I mean, that's a great week of school in my opinion.
I think, and I'm kind of on the email chain with Kyle Dalsalio, the Wilder baseball coach. He's kind of the tournament director for this tournament. And I'm kind of on that email chain where we're getting the updates and stuff. It sounds like they scheduled those early games, those 9 a.m. games, because they were worried about teams traveling. But now that everybody, Rockland's not in it, they were kind of like the one, like really far away team. So now that it's kind of set, if you look on Friday, the games don't start until 11. They were able to bump those back, but they were already locked into those 9 a.m. times Thursday. And Coach Dalsalio was basically like, sorry, you got to play at 9 a.m. Sorry.
That's not a bad way to spend a morning, to be honest. Like if I'm a kid, heck yeah, I get out of school, go play baseball. Because North Star, that's a hop, skip, and a jump away at Settlers Park. Rimrock maybe like 45 minutes or an hour. They can just pick up the Glens Ferry folks on their way up, and or they can carpool. I'm just kidding, but they're both about the same distance roughly, and then Horseshoe Bend just has to come over the hill. So
yeah, and again, this tournament, the way it's set up, they go 4 days in a row: Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and it's running right up against district track as well. And some of these teams have athletes that do both. And so, like last year at this tournament, Idaho City lost their first game. They had a full team, and then they were missing some kids for district track that the kids could not miss the district meet because they had to get to state. So they didn't have enough kids in this game over here. So they had to actually forfeit that game last year. I hope that doesn't happen with any teams this year, but it's tough how that always butts up against district track. So
yeah, it's just interesting because all the other sports, they can time it differently. There's time, but here, school's out. A lot of places the week after next, like graduation, at least here in Middleton, is on Wednesday. That Wednesday right after. Yeah. And it's just they got to get it in. They got to get it done before those kids get out of school.
Yep. All right. I would give you an update on what's going on in the 1A D3 softball bracket, but that has been a headache in terms of standings. Games have been canceled. They had a regular season game last night. Horseshoe Bend played, I think, Rimrock in a regular season game. So the seedings are still kind of being figured out for that tournament. So I'm not, we don't have that bracket ready for you yet, but that will start, I think, tomorrow. So we better figure that out pretty quick. Let's move to what else is going on in softball. Let's go to the 2A WIC, where New Plymouth came in as the 1 seed. They got a first round bye. Nampa Christian got the 2 seed. And we kind of talked about on last week's show all the different scenarios that could unfold with the seedings, and it kind of fell how we thought it would. So New Plymouth and Nampa Christian both got byes. So you had number 4 Melba playing number 5 Marcine on Tuesday night. This was supposed to start Monday, but apparently you guys got some bad weather over there, and that kind of pushed it back a day.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was snowing here on Monday. Like it was a crazy day. Monday it was snowing, it was hailing, it was raining, it was a day of weather. My goodness.
A day of weather for sure. So this got pushed back to Tuesday. So last night, yesterday afternoon, Melba beat Marcine 4/5, 10-7. It was kind of a close game. It kind of surprised me a little bit. And then number 3 Coal Valley Christian beat number 6 Vision Charter 19-8. And then they won those games, and then they had to play again right away against the teams that had byes, if you look. So like Melba won. They had to play that first game at New Plymouth because then they had to play New Plymouth in the semifinal right here, and they lost that game. So New Plymouth beat Melba 11-0 last night. Nampa Christian over Coal Valley in a very tight game, 6-5. And so it is all chalk, although it wasn't easy. And so tomorrow night at Nampa Christian High School, even though Nampa Christian's the 2 seed and New Plymouth is the 1 seed, that was the designated neutral site this year. So Nampa Christian will play New Plymouth for the district championship. Both of those teams have punched their tickets to state, and we kind of knew New Plymouth was going to be there. Nampa Christian's been a nice surprise this year in softball.
Yeah, stepping up to the baseball team, right? Both of their teams will be at state. You look at it, you have a possibility of, you think Melba probably pulls out the win tonight over Vision, and you've got almost the same exact teams left standing in both the baseball and softball tournament for those tickets to state. So good to see them crank it up this year and earn that bid to state. I know it's got to be a weird feeling, right? You get to the championship game, you want to win it, but at the same time, this is not the end goal, right? That if I lose this, that's okay. That I've got something else. And that's I guess the safety net of playing in a league like this, where it's not just a one bid, like you look maybe at a 2A District 4, where it's Declo, Valley, and Wendell, right? And it's one team gets in, and that's it. And so, it's a benefit. You get to the finals, you're in no matter what happens.
Well, in softball, it's not even 3 teams, it's 2. It's Declo and Wendell. and the league champ then has to win a play-in game. So they don't even get one. they get a half possibly. All right. So Cole Valley did beat Marcine in a loser out game tonight, 26-5. And we think Melba won that loser out game over Vision. Cole Valley, Melba playing in the consolation final with the winner advancing to a state play-in game. I kind of like Melba. I don't know why. I don't know.
I feel like the 2, 3, 4, and 5 here, 2, 3, and 4, excuse me. They're just, it's the same person behind a mask, right? You can put the Cole Valley face on, but underneath it, it's really Melba. And you could do it all around, right? They've all beaten each other. They've all lost to each other. They've all played well against each other. They've all played poorly. It just is a big mess. And it's not like Cole Valley and Melba need another opportunity to play each other in a big game this year, right? How many times has that happened in all the different sports this school year? And here we go once again, a Cole Valley Melba matchup in an opportunity to go to the state tournament.
Wouldn't have it any other way. All right. 3A, Snake River Valley Conference, SRV. Homedale, the 1 seed. Weiser, the 2 seed. Both got byes. And then you did not have chalk in that opening round on Saturday. Number 5, Parma knocked off number 4, McCall Donnelly, 10-7. And then number 3, Payette beat number 6, Fruitland, 12-1. That set up Monday night's semifinals where number 1, Homedale shut out Parma 19-0. Number 2, Weiser knocks off number 3, Payette 11-1. Homedale and Weiser playing in the softball championship tonight. No final score reported as we're recording this, but both teams will advance to state. Homedale, I think, kind of like Weiser in baseball, Homedale has been very under the radar, even in their own conference, right? The talk was all about, man, look at Weiser and look at what Weiser's doing. And here's Homedale, I think, in a great spot.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge, dominating win over Parma to get there. And yeah, I mean, you know what? It's not the worst thing in the world to go in with nobody's talking about you. I mean, we mentioned earlier, Kimberly, did anybody talk about them winning the state basketball tournament this year for boys basketball? I don't think anybody had Kimberly, and they do it. Last year, did anybody have Weiser in baseball? Probably not. So this tournament, it just, you know what? It's okay. Go in. Nobody talks about you. They'll talk about you at the end, and that's all that matters.
That's what happened last year in 3A softball. Filer came in very unheralded and ended up winning the title. That's just the way it goes in 3A. Whoever you're not talking about,
they're going to win it. So
yeah,
whoever's under there.
Let's see. Last night we had some loser out games. Payette shuts out McCall 3-4, 7-0. And then look at this game here on the bottom. Number 5 Parma against number 6 Fruitland, and Parma wins 19-18.
What if I don't know, you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think Fruitland won a conference game all year.
No.
I don't think they won a game all year. Did they go winless?
I think so.
They were going out, right? They were swinging for that win, right? They were going to try and get it towards the last game of the year and just couldn't quite get it, come up 1 run short. That would have been a fun victory for them. Like I said, I've been on that end before, and just winning 1 would be, send you out on a good note. So almost there for Fruitland.
Yeah, Fruitland finishes the year 0-23 overall, 0-10 in the conference, and even a close, exciting game like that can propel you.
Yeah, no, it really can. Yeah,
just
being in it makes a difference.
So then tonight we had the consolation game, Payette and Parma, the rivals meeting just like they did in baseball, and Payette winning that game 14-4. So kind of what we thought. Payette, it looked like to us, was the 3rd best team in the conference this year, and now they will have a chance to. Well, it looks like that's it. Actually, there's got to be a way to challenge back, right?
Well, aren't they? They play District 1, 1-2, right?
Yeah, let me double check that. I think that's correct.
They're a play-in, I think.
I think you're right. I think they have a play-in match. And yes, they will play 2nd place from District 4.
Oh, District 4.
So they will play either Kimberly, or Buell. That's who was still alive over there in District 4. So, and Filer won that district. So that's the story there. Good. The Gooding, the 1 seed in District 4 this year, they went 2-0. That conference was so unpredictable. All 4 teams
brutal.
were.
That's the brutal part of the way the districts are, right? Doesn't matter what you do. Really doesn't in the regular season. It matters what you do in a 1 week window of time.
That's right. Here in the passage of time. So let's end it there. There was some really good softball and baseball talk. We kind of have the puzzle pieces. They're not quite all put together yet, but we kind of know who's dancing and who isn't. We have a good idea. And so what we'll do next week on the Prepcast, Logan, is we're going to do our live preview show. We did this during state basketball. It was really a lot of fun. We're going to do a state baseball tournament live preview show with all of the broadcasters from IdahoSports.com, as once again, we will be bringing you live coverage of every single state baseball tournament, 5A all the way down to 1A. That'll be next Tuesday night. 5A will be from 7 to 7:15. 4A will be from 7:15 to 7:30. 3A, you and me will be talking 7:30 to 7:45. 2A from 7:45 to 8. And then the 1A from 8 to 8:15. And we'll just put that in every podcast feed next week. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's always fun when you get everybody involved. You listen to other people from different parts of the state and get their point of views on it. But, if you're a 3A fan, sorry, you're just stuck with us babbling about it.
They're used to it, right?
Yeah. So sorry.
Hey, all right. So rest up, Logan. Enjoy what, little district action we have left, and we'll get ready for state next week.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Looking forward to everybody at state tournaments next week.
Yep. And again, if you're out there and one of your baseball teams is qualified for state and you want to help support these broadcasts, we need lots of good sponsors. Logan at IdahoSports.com is the guy you want to contact. So, all right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, to another edition of the Treasure Valley Prepcast. For Logan Green, I'm Brandon Baney. We'll see you next time on IdahoSports.com.